we start this week's podcast, I'd like to just put out a very special message. Mackie, you're banned. All right, welcome back to Words From Our Mouths. I'm Pete, joined by James again. James, how the hell are you?
Yes.
Yes. You see, that's my answer. You can't use that. Tell me how you are.
I've stolen your answer.
Tell me how you are.
No.
I'm coming to your house. Tell me how you are.
You're not.
Wait, hang on.
Sorry,
sorry, it's me that would be nervous if you came to my house, right?
I'm coming to your house in May.
No, stop it. No, you're scaring me. Charlotte, change the locks. I'm sure he's got a
I
key.
haven't got a key.
I don't care. I'm not taking the risk.
You've changed into locks I do have a key for.
How would that...
She'll buy cheap second-hand locks.
Yeah, just so happened to have come from Plymouth.
Yes.
Sorry, just give away your location there. Nobody go to Plymouth. There's only about 2 million people there.
There's like 200,000. It's not
That might as well be 2 million to me. That's a huge number. If I'm faced with 10 people, James, that's enough to trample me and kill me. I'm afraid. James, I'm talking as if there's no one else here.
You're quite bouncy.
I am. Oh, rude. Rude.
True.
We're not alone this week. We're joined by internationally recognised partnered streamer Eastwoogie. Do you want to say hi?
Good afternoon. Yeah,
There
hi.
you go.
Good afternoon,
Oh,
gentlemen. Hi, how are you?
Don't be nervous. It's fine. Just relax.
I'm
Professional
absolutely not
podcast.
nervous. I'm ready for this. I'm raring to go. You guys are absolutely the most British people I've ever spoken to from Twitch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
We're the most British
Because
people.
we're British.
I usually deal with Americans. So
That's a very good point.
I do feel sorry for you.
to be honest with you, the Brits are way worse than the Americans. So it's
That's because we know how to
Not
do
sure we're doing this.
sarcasm.
uh, questionable.
Question. Okay, fair enough. Actually, your core audience knows how to do sarcasm. You have a very British American audience, I noticed.
It's more that we have a it's more that we don't. We've got a very how do I say, unique corner of Twitch where for some reason I seem to attract a lot of intellectually and
I
successful
believe the term
people.
is cesspool.
To be honest, compared to a lot of areas you see on Twitch, we've actually got a really nice group of people. Don't
You have
tell them
actually.
I said that.
It's one of the nicest, most welcoming communities I've ever seen.
It's peculiar, isn't it? It's like
Considering who's at the forefront of it, yeah.
Well, people say that like your community reflects a streamer. I'm just like, my community is way too nice to reflect me as a person. Like that's
Your community
You're a
is the
nicer
mirror
person
universe.
than you think you are.
it's yeah. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I hope you're well.
he's getting nervous now. You complimented him. See what you've done. Come back. Don't
He's
go.
blushing, isn't he?
We've only done 3 minutes. What's happened? Are you a little bit out of your comfort zone? Be honest.
To be honest with you, I'm used to dealing with things not being recorded. So if I'm having personal calls, like it's one-on-one, I'm not used to speaking to people directly and having it recorded. So it's a little bit. There's no take one, take two, quick cut, go. It's like it's. But
Yeah, I'm too lazy to edit that. If you should hear, sometimes we have had to cut. I just put like some broadband connection noise in it.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll fucking do.
broadband dial-up.
Dial-up, sorry.
Yeah, I was
dial-up,
gonna say
yes.
our era. I'm assuming you guys are like old like me as well.
Unfortunately.
We are very
Wait, I
similar
think I'm the
ages.
youngest here.
You are the youngest here, James. You little child.
How old?
I'm 29.
Do you remember being 29?
Oh, dude, yeah, back in the 80s. Bloody hell.
Black and white TVs. Kids hitting a hoop with a stick for some fucking reason.
Smartphones were not even a dream at that point.
Dude, at that point, like, mobile phones when it was pagers. It was like, it's...
God, I remember pages.
Yeah, I still don't understand how they, like, yeah, it's...
Worked.
It's not an
well,
effective
apparently-
method of communication, surely.
Wasn't it? It was like a 10-character text, which was like call
It's-
numbers, all you could send basically.
It's
wasn't
essentially, from my understanding, it's essentially just a text message. It's a text message device, but instead of having 164 characters, you've got like 10 or 12. Like, but it's essentially a text SMS, like on a small device. But yeah, that was before my time. Like, that's before my time still, and I'm old.
I don't think I know anyone that would have a pager. It
Yeah.
seems to be movies. It's the only time you ever see them.
I know a few people that had pages, but yeah, they were Yeah, it's they were the rich kids. They were part of the well-to-do tally-ho sort of people.
I bet
yeah.
Swish had too.
Dude, Swish, like, he was using fucking carrier pigeons and, like... But sorry for the audience, Swish is a member of my community that's in his 70s or 80s.
90% of the people who listen to this will be members of your audience, so we have a reach of like 12 people, maybe.
That's more than my stream these days.
That's okay. No, you know what? Actually, it's a real shame because in your line of work, diversifying is the devil. Like trying to do things a little bit differently is just one way of killing yourself off, isn't it? And it's horrible.
It's more.
You played Final Fantasy for like 10 years now.
Dude, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII since I was 11 years old. Yeah, but
Back in the 60s.
yeah, well, yeah, in my line of work, and again, but for anyone that is listening doesn't know me, I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm a speed runner in brackets. Yeah, I've been doing it for 6 years, and it's my full-time job. But what Pete, I believe you were referring to, was if I speed running is what I'm known for, but if I stray away from speed running, it's kind of like it reduces your outreach, your flow. Like people know me for speed running, but if I play something casually, like game-wise, people aren't necessarily as interested. So yeah, it's a very fickle audience on Twitch.
I think it's the
I've
same.
only been watching your streams for the last 2 weeks or so, and at no point has the chat actually spoken about what's going on in the game. We're normally talking about something else.
It's that's the dynamic that's happened. See, I think I was one of your first 1,000 followers or something like that. It was
Easily within the first few hundred, I would say.
Maybe even that, yeah. And back then, it was total dedication to the run. You know, everybody was hyped about the run, things like that. Everything was centralized about timings and things like that. But I'm from the days when there was no rip runs. So if a run wasn't going well, you didn't stop it. It was like, fuck it, we live with it now. We're this far in, don't reset, keep going. And the chat was generally just focused centrally on it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
A lot of your core audience, so like when you play something, well, actually I remember the days when you were getting like 2,500 views per stream as well. Like that was
that I would just like to say that was when Twitch they put me on the front page. I was in the partner spotlight. That was yeah,
glory days.
That was at my peak. Since then, I've dwindled back down to a normal human being, struggling through life.
You were actually killing it for a while though. It was going really, really well.
That was kind of when I sold my soul. Like I pretended like I was committing to it every day for 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 hours. But
especially with the all bosses runs, my God.
Yeah, when you do that for 6 years, it's like a normal job. Like if you go into the office for 5, 6 years and you're committing to it, it just becomes it's soul absorbing. It becomes exhausting, and you're just like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, are we allowed to swear? Sorry.
Yeah, of course you are.
Brilliant. Okay, but yeah,
I'm pretty sure. No, I haven't said the word cunt yet, but I have now. So there you go.
Oh, there we go. The bar has been set. The bar has been set now.
What did you just say? The C word?
Yes.
Oh, you absolute cunt. Anyway,
I hope you did. Just actually, before we go on that too quickly, I think there's something we should explain because some people may not know what is speedrunning. How would you define speedrunning to people that don't know what it is?
So speedrunning is completing a computer game, as quickly as you can, using not necessarily any hacks. Not hacks, I would say, is glitches and skips. Like,
because you get different types of runs, don't you?
Yeah.
You get glitchless, any percent, all that lot.
Exactly, yeah. So, for example, if you've ever played a Final Fantasy game, you expect them to be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours long to complete. But for example, I can do it in 7, 8 hours, including all the super bosses and hidden bosses, etc. I say 7, 8 hours, it's 8, 9 hours, sorry, just blowing my trumpet a bit there. But you're essentially completing the game as quickly as you can in one sitting. There's no breaks, you're not allowed to pause the timer. Like if you need to pee, if you need to eat, like the timer keeps going. So it's very much you're committing a full day's work. It's like if you're going into the office for 8 hours, but you don't get a lunch break, you don't get breaks. I get about between 40 seconds to, I think the longest break I have is 90 seconds throughout a 8-hour run, for example. But you're essentially completing the game from A to B, from start to finish, in one sitting. And yeah.
For some games, that's a lot easier. So if you're doing something like Sonic the Hedgehog, that's going to be quite quick. It's going to be a matter of minutes.
Well, yeah, I think the world record for Sonic is like below 20 minutes, but that requires skill. Like that's
You just seem to count a lot
that.
when
Yeah,
I've watched you.
that's not my forte. Skill isn't something I focus on. But yeah, no. So platformers, for example, Sonic, Mario, they're much shorter. But because I play games which are generally like, so Final Fantasy VII, for example, is 3 discs long when it was released. That's a long ass game. But
a
yeah,
regular
platformers-
playthrough is going to be pushing 60 hours for
Yeah.
just a casual. So
Yeah,
to reduce that down, I mean, like, even if you're not a speedrunner, it's like I'm like you. I played the game since I was very young, and I could probably blast through the story, not employing any speedrun. What's the word?
Strategies.
Strategies.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Without applying any of those, I could probably get through it in about 15 to 20 hours, I reckon,
Yeah.
just based on memory. But the way you like cut chunks out of the game is just fantastic. In fact, if you're listening and you are interested in speedruns, but you've only tend to watch like Super Mario and stuff like that, just the quick blast ones, watch a Final Fantasy speedrun. You're gonna have to dedicate a bit of time to it, but just or a Kingdom Hearts one or something like that, because the amount of tricks that are used to take an enormous game and squish it into one sitting is fascinating.
There's a stupid one on this. For those that don't know, there's something called Any Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick. It's like a charity event where they get all the speedrunners to come on. And
Awesome games done quickly, not any games. Sorry, I just have to correct you there.
Yeah.
Just to,
AGDQ is what it's known as.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they do they get loads of speedrunners and it's run over a week, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
I think it depends on how
I wanna
people
say it's
get to
a
run
week.
games.
Smile and nod.
Smile
But they
and
pretty
nod.
much do it 24/7 and they go through all the sort of games. Basically, any game can be speedrun. It's just only some are. But my favourite I've ever seen, it was a Game Boy Advance, one of the Castlevanias in Game Boy Advance, and the guy did the all bosses run. So he kills every boss in the game, and that was like a 45-minute run. And he said the way they do it is if you donate enough money, you can get unlocked like bonus runs and that sort of thing. And the guy got enough money, so he wanted to see the any percent. It took him 8 seconds to complete the game.
8 seconds, fucking hell.
8 seconds, because the way the game loads, it loads because it's being a Game Boy Advance, it's all technically one level. And as it happens, the end boss is next to the start area, and you can glitch through the wall and kill the boss.
Yeah. So again, reference. So Final Fantasy VII is my main speedrun. It's what I've kind of built my audience and community on Twitch on. But
You
I
don't
can
sound like
complete
you
that.
regret it at all.
To be honest with you, I could either be earning hundreds of thousands of pounds in the corporate world in sales and sold my soul, or I could be earning about $27 a month doing this. So I but no, I can complete Final Fantasy VII in roughly about 2 hours. Again, there's a lot of glitches and skips that you can do to break it and do it very quickly. But yeah, let's say it's, I don't want to say it's niche, but another. So I'd just like to shout out a channel that I work on. So you mentioned AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick, Summer Games Done Quick. So I work with a team, the board on RPG Limit Break. So that's another speedrun
Great content
channel
on there as well. That's
Yeah,
one
so
I always try
they-
and catch that.
I'll put a link in the thing at the minute.
Yeah, so they focus on RPGs rather than, so AGGQ and Summer Games Done Quick, they do any game, but for example RPG Limit Break, they do
Longer
I'm trying to
games,
type this.
really.
Yeah. But yeah, I work on one of the boards of one of the events that they do. So work alongside people like High Spirits, El Magus, Palmer, Kios, etc. But we run an event on that channel, which is, yeah, it's good. But honestly, to be honest, if you want to be, anyone can be a speedrunner. You can do any game at any pace. You don't have to be like one of the best, for example. But if you just like a certain game and you want to play it quickly, like anyone can do it. Like literally, if I can do it, like literally anyone can.
I tried to follow some strats on a Portal one once and it crashed my computer. It was trying to glitch through a wall, sort of one, and the computer just went, nope.
Yeah, I have a tendency of breaking computer games. I've been recommended many times to be a game tester for new games because I have a tendency of soft locking games. Not on purpose, I may add.
You do have quite a record of soft locking, actually.
Yeah.
But it's that sort of thing that
again.
you would only come across when you've played a game through so many times. Like, I was talking to someone. This was like 3 years ago about speedrunning, and they pulled the face a bit and said, "What's the point in getting a game if you're going to complete it that fast?" And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. You do not understand how this works. You need to have some in-depth knowledge of that game in order to speedrun it properly. It's not just a case of
times.
yeah. It's not like a case of you go buy the game, you take it home, and then you complete it in record time. That's not how it works. You need to, especially if you're going to be like who discovered the calm skip? Because that it was like 30 years after the game came out. Something stupid.
It's some nerds that have no life.
Play the game every day by any chance.
No, on a serious note, so the Final
You know who
Fantasy.
discovered it?
Yeah, I know all of the guys that have found these skips, and honestly, it's amazing what they do. But the run I do, for example, Final Fantasy VII, it became very stagnant for 45 to 60 years, and then all of a sudden, there are these new people that come in. They're ripping apart the code of the game and saying, this could potentially be X, Y, and Z, but that only becomes possible from them knowing like technical things like the coding, how the coding could potentially be broken. But me, for example, I don't know that stuff. I just rinse and repeat what other people do. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. I'm just got to copy him. And
it's the case of them finding a pixel that you can stand on that nobody knew about as well.
Yeah,
and it's like, this counts as a walkable surface. But how do I get there? Let's find out. And then boom, it's like an hour less on your speedrun.
Whereas I look at it, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Am I on Twitch or am I on MySpace? Hello?
You stumble ass first into success a lot.
No, I'm in Sainsbury's.
Yeah, that's the story of my life, Pete. That really is.
Just as another quick one I wanted to say, I meant to say a minute ago. For those that don't know, again, soft locking means is when you basically crash your game.
Yes.
A hard lock would be you've broken something in your computer. Soft locking means you've got to turn the game off, turn it on again.
So you're essentially breaking the inner code of the game, where it's like two pieces of code where it's meant to be going vertically and but they just jam into each other and go. Brr.
And the game has not got a failsafe for it, and it's just like this wasn't even supposed to be possible. I don't know what to do.
Going, what
Everybody
the fuck
stop.
have you done to me?
Yeah.
Literally, the beauty is this day and age with the AAA titles, which cost you $70, they do it by standard. You don't need to try and soft lock. You're paying $70 and it does it anyway. You don't need to break it. But the old school games, it's not as easy.
Feature.
It's a feature.
Include 70 soft locks. Find them all.
Yeah.
Just as a stupid one, Elden Ring, it took like 4 hours for a guy to work out teleport glitch.
The glitch finders in games, it was the same with FF7 Remake. Before they knew it, they would just. I don't understand all this stuff. I'm not coder savvy, or I don't understand code in general. I don't understand this technical stuff. It blows my mind how and why people know this stuff. But also, it makes the world better for people like us that like people that code this sort of thing.
See, what happens is somebody painstakingly finds a way to skip a bit of the game. They put a short 10-minute tutorial up on YouTube, and then people like you swoop in and then make a shit ton of money off showcasing it during your speedruns.
Well, yeah, I'm sat here in my mansion, sat in my ivory tower on my golden throne, wiping my bottom with £50 notes.
I mean, you did cancel an appointment with the Queen to come and do this podcast, actually. So we're very grateful for that.
I'm sure Lizzie won't mind.
Liz, our girl Liz. But yeah, that's essentially my background. But before that, I was a corporate boy, a very highly successful multinational, should I say, not internationally, multinational corporate salesperson for one of the biggest companies in the world. And kind of just stumbled into streaming, which I'm still not sure which is the lesser of two evils.
It's funny that it happened that way though, because you stumbled into streaming with an audience of people who basically do what you used to do but abuse you on the side.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary. I mean, the audience we have as well, it is so varied. As I say, I know you guys, you're Brits, but the vast majority of my audience are either Americans or Australians or Europeans, but I don't know, British people, I don't seem to have a very British audience. I don't know whether I.
Is it something to do with the hours that you stream? I don't want to go on a
You
touchy
seem weird
subject
hours.
there. Like, starting an 8-hour speed run at 9 o'clock at night, it's not going to bring in that many British viewers, is it?
Well, if you guys didn't have to go to work like adults the next day, you might be up the. If you
And
didn't
there are
have-
some of us. There are some of us that stick around like that.
To be honest, on days off, I tend to go to bed like 11 o'clock these days. I'm too fucking old for staying up later. Fuck that shit.
To be honest, I'm the same. But once it's kind of your body clock. I'm like, my body at the moment, unfortunately, it's like I'm trying to make it more of a European based, or even in between European and American. But my body clock is very much American. I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work. Now I'm still streaming at 4 o'clock in the morning.
When I used to watch every day, you would start at like somewhere between 9 and 11 in the morning.
9 a.m. GMT every single day on the dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most days I'd catch the whole thing as well, actually, because I had wonky hours then, so it was quite easy for me to watch it. Nowadays I can't really. Something about watching content just knocks me to sleep. So I'll put you like. The last time I watched you, I think I exited your stream by letting everybody know that I fell asleep on my desk and drooled everywhere. It's just something that I put something on and that's it. I just go. I just go.
I've done that midstream. Like, you don't need to be
I
the
know
watcher.
you have.
You can be the Swiggy, you snoring.
There was that time when you fell asleep, you had a full 8 hours while it was live, and IMP was trying to like host streams over the top of you to stop people being able to see you snoring.
That has happened.
I remember checking on it because you fell asleep quite early, considering must have been about 8:30, 9 o'clock or something that you dropped off.
Yeah, I remember.
And I
waking
start
up the
work at
next
4
day.
o'clock in the morning, and I checked in, and people were still like panicking in the Discord, like, what do? We can't wake you up. Somebody ring him. He's
Not
not
my
answering.
proudest moment. Not my proudest moment. That's.
The thing is when you check the stats in the morning, you gain like 10 subs. You're like, what? Why?
It's to be honest. I did a camping thing recently. I went out camping. And I was streaming the whole thing, and the busiest I've ever seen my chat, not ever, but the busiest I've seen my chat in the recent months or whatever, and the most support I've had financially is when I was sleeping while I was camping. I was literally asleep in a camp bed, and it's just like, what's the fuck?
Do you reckon though? He's quiet. Long fucking last.
Honestly, yes, I think that's right. I nail on the head.
Money, you might stay like this.
Yeah.
I am curious though, when you went from your corporate job, you went up to your boss, you said, I'm going to quit to play games on the internet. What
Wasn't
did they
that simple,
say?
James? Don't be silly.
Yeah, there's a long history behind that, but no, I still get contacted by people in the corporate world, just like reaching out, just like, where did you go? Because it's as scary and surprising as it is, I used to actually be really good in the corporate world, and when you're going away from the corporate world where it's in the industry that I was in, you become familiar and recognize other salespeople that you're up against from other companies, and like, you may be friends, but when it comes to business, it's just like you're head to head. But I just disappeared. I just went poof, gone. I didn't tell anyone. Just poof, and then I was streaming. It was
What a wild ride.
It was crazy, to be honest. It was definitely nothing I would ever expect. I didn't even know what Twitch was before I started streaming. I just saw some people speedrunning FF7. I was like, I could do that. I could, easy. I could do that. And
I'd like to hate this game.
I mean, at that point, it was amazing. But yeah, when you've been doing it for 6 years, it's like.
I sometimes I worry, like, because there are some content creators that I'm in touch with, some YouTubers and things like that, and they gain renown for a specific type of game. So there's one that I watch, and his main content for years has been Elder Scrolls stuff, but he'd love to do other things. The problem there is, as soon as he releases another video of something different, his view count just plummets. Like, the algorithm doesn't want to hear it. And it must be just so disheartening, especially to work on something you're proud of as well.
It's not even necessarily that it's the algorithm. It's it wants. I mean, for example, I don't even know how many followers I've got on Twitch anymore. I've been going for so long, but people either they don't use Twitch anymore, or they've moved on, or they've seen what you're doing for so much. But people become they're used to, for me, for example, they're used to me playing Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, and they come for that. But if I play something else, they're just like,
they don't click.
Yeah,
it's like they were looking for Final Fantasy content as well, so they'll just go somewhere else, wouldn't they?
Yeah, literally. That's again, Twitch has become so oversaturated. If person A isn't doing it, they'll just go to person B that's doing it. But thankfully, again, I was quite lucky at the time I started Twitch, where I've got a good core community, whereas there's a good group of people that they just want to come and hang out. They come for my my charming personality and persona, yeah.
Very contrived.
Yeah, exactly. But I found, as you said earlier, if you're watching the streams, I mean, for me, for example, if I'm watching a streamer, if I'm watching somebody play a game, the vast majority of the time, I'm not even watching the gameplay. I'm listening to the streamer, talking in chat to the chatters, and like, I have no
I'm that
idea
sort of
what's
viewer. I'll
going
be
on.
honest. I try.
In all honesty,
yeah,
I've told Pete this before. I said it on the stream before. I don't like Final Fantasy. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I enjoy watching your streams because it's entertaining being there. I mean, the other day we were watching Colin Furr's videos, granted.
Follow Colin
Never
first
happened.
now. This,
Never
no
happened.
DMs,
Don't know what you're talking about it.
Love you, Colin. But yeah, for example, it's the same when I was camping. Like, I don't know. It's something I feel more. I'm not really focused on the game myself either. I'm talking to chat. I'm talking to my community. Again, coming from the sales world, I'm more of an interactive person. It's like one of my best friends, Ryu Quetzalcoatl. He's just like, you're a different kind of streamer, whereas you're interactive. You rely on your personality and interactions in your chat rather than good gameplay. I'm like,
Thanks.
yeah. No.
But it's a fair point though, because in stark contrast, and I'm not saying that Ryu's not good with his audience, because he really is.
Yeah.
He's very engaging, but he's really fucking good at games.
And people watch him for that, and he's a good entertainer as well.
Exactly. So he's got like a nice middle ground there, because he's
Yeah.
a good entertainer. He's really engaging, but he's really skilled. And like, and
Whereas,
it's accented by the fact that he's got a camera that'll just show his keyboard when he's doing his speed runs, just to see how fast his fingers are going.
And people more I would say our community is very much is more for the interaction, the community feel, and to laugh when I die. So yeah.
Yeah, well, for better or for worse, your transition from sales into streaming has brought together some of the like nicest people I've ever met on the internet.
Agreed.
It's a collection of some absolutely wonderful people from all walks of life as well, and it's really nice.
Pete.
Yeah,
and then I'm just sort of sat there like a horrible octopus in the middle of it.
I'm right there with you, bud. Me and Peter just in the middle, just going.
What's happened here? Just for reference, you're at 21,000 followers at the minute.
Oh my god! I wonder how many of those are bots. So I only bought 15,000 bots.
From bigfollows.com. That's not an advert. That's
no. Do not
This
buy
is
from
sponsored by
Big Follows. They still owe me 15,000 followers and 1,000 Twitch Primes I bought for £150. They haven't given it to me. And then I contacted their customer service, and they said they give me half off if I buy another 15,000. I'm joking, but please don't take me seriously, audience. Don't use
I'm
Big
just
Follows.
thinking that if it's 1,000 Twitch Primes for 150 quid, that's a good deal, isn't it?
Well, when they gave me half off, I was like, that's even better. But yeah, surprisingly, it didn't come through. They didn't follow through.
And they have such a good reputation. There's always so many people, even in my streams, there's so many people coming through advertising for them. You know, it's like, how do you have such a presence?
Today I had to ban about 4 in your chat, Pete. What was going on?
No,
Why did
actually,
you know
what?
bots?
I don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but I've had some fucking insane numbers for my channel being so small that my last 3 or 4 streams, I've been averaging at 13 views a stream, which doesn't sound like much, but I've got less than 200 followers. Yeah, that's monstrous numbers for me. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Hey, bro, that's it. You got it's what do you say that networking, where the outreach.
Networking. Yeah. Admittedly, most of my viewers come from other content creators' communities that I've siphoned away. You know, it's just like
network.
No. It's scummy, really, because like
I've stolen them. They're mine now.
Well, there's one server, a Discord server that I'm in, and I convinced the guy, YouTuber, somewhere nearing 100,000 subscribers. I convinced him to put a a self promo section in his Discord so people could share the work, because he had a rule of not advertising, but there was exceptions for some people, which I thought was a bit odd. So I thought, why not have a place that people don't have to look then, if they can mute it, but everyone could just dump the links in there. It's like, not everyone's going to click, but it accidentally, people used it very frequently, and I felt really bad.
I wouldn't say so. I have strong feelings about that whole topic. But yeah, continue.
Oh, I know you do. But it's different for each person, isn't it? Like, I mean, if it was me in that situation, I'd be like, absolutely, piggyback on me if you need to. Like, I got my followers I've gotten by accident. I'll be free to admit it.
So have I.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's. I think it's good to share. It's not like, give people the choice. I mean, you're on the platform anyway. Everyone's allowed to be on the platform. Why not give people a place to put the links? You know what I mean? I that's the way I feel about it. At the same time, I can understand if you have, because some people have Discords that are locked behind paywalls. So yours is just underneath your name on Twitch. You click the link and you're in. Which is nice. It's welcoming.
By the way.
Yeah, my OnlyFans is behind a paywall, but that's
the link on your profile on Twitch doesn't work, because I had to get Pete to send me the link.
Don't make me do admin. Bloody
make him do admin. No, because if
hell.
he tries to change that, he will blow up the Discord server.
And then I'll get shouted at by my admin team. Oh, god damn it.
Get the admin team to do it.
No, they pretty much do. Yeah, I get
one of them
banned
will
from
hear
doing
this. One of them will hear this, and they'll sort it for him. That's what'll happen.
But yeah, no, that's it's something that really bugs me. In the aspect, people ban people for that, and there's me on the other hand. I get it. Like, any other streamer. I saw a tweet the other day. It's just like somebody said, your friends are not your competitors on Twitch, and blah blah blah. Like, you build them up. They're not your enemy. They're not. I'm just like, hang about. If you're a full-time streamer, even if they're your friend, they are your business competitor. You want their view. You want them to subscribe to you and not to you. Even if you're friends, it's just like, that's such a bad take. Don't get me wrong. I promote my friends and I build them up, but for people to missell it as that, even if your friend is succeeding, they're not your competitor. You're not up against them. It's like, if you're a full-time streamer, that is essentially your direct business competitor. It'd be like Tesco's versus Sainsbury's, Vodafone versus
it is.
O2.
It's the same as taking a customer, is what it is.
Yeah. That's literally what it is, and I'm just like, and the reason they do that is because they're farming likes on Twitter or whatever they do. I'm just like,
I know they are.
Yeah,
social media clout.
It is, and the thing is, because Twitch has become so oversaturated, it's everyone's just like, yeah, I agree with that. It's just like, yeah, but it's so untrue. If you know business and how business works, it's so bullshit. Like, you guys, for example, if you stream, you're my competitor. Like, you're my friends, and I want you to succeed, but you are my competitor. You are taking my customers.
I don't get views. If I'm not being viewed, I'm not a competitor.
You are still taking my advertisement revenue from Twitch. You are taking, even if it's 0.00001.
I don't know. Do I get that revenue?
I
haven't streamed in about 2 years, so
it's not worth it anyway. If you do, trust me.
I got to about $80 in Twitch as affiliate and never actually got the payout, and I think it's disappeared now. I think they owe me $80 technically.
Oh no.
For people who are confused, you have to hit as affiliate. I don't know what it's like as partner. So you have to hit the $100, and they pay out at that point. Oh yeah, I never hit it, and I can't find where it said they owed me it, so I think it's gone. But that was about 4 years ago at this point.
James,
so.
I've had 3 payouts. How do you feel about that?
Mostly it's me.
Oh, Pete Musk, Elon Smells, Pete Bazars, bloody 3 payouts.
Actually, you know what? One of those payments came through at a time when I was absolutely like at rock bottom and so desperate for money. Yeah. And I was just like, I had to check my bank account just to see if I could afford just to get a bit of food in the house. Yeah, and then suddenly there was, I got quite a bit actually. It was around the time when I did the Alien Isolation stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you a lot of bits for that.
A lot of people give me a lot. I think I made about 90 quid that day, and I got a payout for that, and it absolutely saved my ass and got me some food in to feed my family. It was absolutely fantastic.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like, yeah, well done. You owe me 90 quid, you bastard.
What he did is when he was I kept bugging him to play Alien for ages. And he said, "Look, fine. If I hit 1,000 bits, I'll play Alien." I dropped 1,000 bits there and then.
Yeah, you did.
He was trying to build it up over a few months. I was like, "Nope, now." And then he started doing every time someone dropped 1,000 bits total, like a cumulative on the community.
No, it was less
He
than
turned the
that.
volume
It was
up.
like
It
200
100 or
bits.
something like that. He turned the volume up on his headset.
My jump
I
scare
think
alerts.
I think I just dropped 1,000 there and then straight away. Just looking at
Because
other
what I did,
levels.
right, it used to be my old headset had the clicker button to up the volume, and it just went up every time I pressed it. It went up by a multiple of 2. So I started the volume at 20, which was reasonably loud for the game I was playing. But I think because I was streaming from my Xbox, so I had to split the way the audio was. So the volume I was controlling was only for the jump scare alerts, which also went off every time someone cheered bits. So when the bit counter increased, I'd have to up the volume by 10 points.
He had it set
I know
so
your
one bit would
pain.
make the alert go off.
Trust, I've got the scare alerts, and whenever I play, I would share some clips, but they're just like, it's like being slapped in the ear by me screaming.
Some of them are fantastic. You know what? Actually, no. Of all the spooky clips that you've got, which like that amnesia one where the ghost appeared right in front of you.
You sent me that one before you'd ever.
Oh my
told me
God.
about Spooky. You sent me that.
Yeah, it was one of the funniest things I've seen. But one that wasn't even a clip, because I think it predates clips, was when when the spider crawled up the fridge next to you.
Oh, that's actually an alert. We've got that as an alert. We don't have a clip because it did predate clips, but
Yeah, I
we've
thought
got
it
the
was that long
audio
ago.
clip.
And I don't think you were even playing a horror game at the time. It was. No, it was one of the funniest things. I was one of the lucky. That was at like the good view counts as well. It was like 400 people who saw that live or something like that.
Don't anything else fine, but it's spiders. Like,
I share your pain. I am also like mortally afraid of them for no fucking reason. I just can't do anything about it. But that particular day when I think you threw your headset at it, and then couldn't get your headset because it was
off.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So the spider was climbing up the fridge right next to me, and I saw it, and I went to hit it, and I missed, and it fell and dropped, and that's where I threw my headset across the room, and then I was gone for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, you were gone for a long time. Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a slight case of arachnophobia, and that is
slight case.
Growing up, my elder brother, like he's a bastard. I won't lie. I love him to pieces, but I lived in the countryside, so the spiders they were spiders. You see the eyes on the front and the big ass legs. He used to catch them, chase me, pin me down, and like put them on my face. And
that's horrible.
What are brothers for?
Yeah. I've got arachnophobia because of that, but also I can't stand peanut butter because he used to do the same. And chase me with peanut butter and then put peanut butter on my face, so I can't stand the smell of peanut butter either. Not sure which is worse, spiders slightly, but yeah, peanut butter I can't.
I suppose you're not scared of peanut butter though, are you?
Have you come up with peanut butter?
If it was crawling up the fridge next to him while he was streaming, you can guarantee that he'd throw his headset at it, that's for sure.
Have you seen the news that there are now spiders coming back to the UK that are hand-sized?
Yeah, I have. But they say this every spring. As soon as the weather starts to warm up, they go, "Oh, they're coming over." And then what happens is we get a surprise frost and they all die. So,
that's kind of what happens to me nearly as well. So,
surprise frost and you're gone.
That's it. But no,
I didn't stream enough Final Fantasy to pay my heating bill. I can't.
Heating? All right, Elon. Bloody hell. Heating food? Bloody Jesus.
Scraps that the neighbours left behind.
I drink water and I share my food with the seagulls. It's like there's a big fight outside with the seagulls.
I would not fight a seagull for food. I don't care how desperate. I would lose that fight.
I've tried and I've only got one eye and one ear now. Like
I have punched a seagull before.
I've punched one.
I punched a seagull square in the body. I was sat eating a pasty and I saw it coming. I was like, "No, you fucking don't!" I got it square in the fucking seagull nuts of it.
Just for my own image, I will never endorse hitting any animal of any fucking kill you, fucking spiders, fucking.
I won't hit animals unless they come to steal my fucking pasty.
No,
in which case,
I was going to say you need to get a baseball bat and hit them properly if it's a seagull. No, I'm joking. Oh, please.
Oh, God. Oh, no, actually,
Satire.
that reminds me. there was an incident at Chester
animal
Zoo.
abuse.
Yeah, it's animals abusing animals, but there was an incident at Chester Zoo not long ago where a monkey climbed like a floodlight. I don't know if it was Chester Zoo, it could have been somewhere else. A monkey climbed a floodlight, there were seagulls going around, and it pinched one out of the air and just started battering its head against the lamppost. But people were going mad saying that the zoo should do something about the monkeys. Like, what are they going to do? Arrest it?
Fuck! Said guy called fucking PISA, RSPCA.
I know,
saw
yeah.
a monkey. He got.
But what are they going to do? Sit the monkey down and just have a word with it? So, listen, mate, you can't be doing that.
talking to.
Yeah, it's like you can't. If you do that again, we'll fine you.
The monkey might understand better than some Northerners. Let's put it that way.
It might do, yeah. It's just bizarre that people were mad at the zoo for it, saying like, "Oh, you should train your animals better" or something. I don't.
honestly,
Not the point of a zoo, is it?
I mean, I don't want to go into fucking the outrage culture these days, but I do have I try to avoid conflict on the internet with people that
You do a great job.
Outrage culture, like.
Snowflake is the term you're looking for.
No, I don't even like to use the term snowflake. It's people they like to be angry for other people. For example, it's just like it's like, oh, you can't say that to so and so, or you can't say X, Y, and Z because of this person. The person that they're trying to defend or protect, that person's like, I don't care, but you should. I'm angry for you, but yeah, no, I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
It just, yeah, that's. I get the points of some people, but yeah.
It's one of the few things that triggers you beyond belief, isn't it?
It's one of the few things that I don't like conflicts, but if
I can hear you holding back the rant. Actually, it's like those parts of your brain that haven't rotted away from constantly matching circle.
I'm twitching, like my eyes going to.
No,
yeah,
but I know what you mean. There is an ever-growing culture of people who are angry on behalf of other people without ascertaining whether or not there needs to be anger about it. You know? And what bothers me most about that is that person is making themselves upset and worked up about matters that do not touch their lives.
Yes. It's exactly
you're going out of your way. You're taking yourself out of your own peaceful sphere to be mad for something that you doesn't even require your thoughts. Never mind your anger.
Yeah. And I get some topics for absolute sure, but again, being outraged on behalf of somebody else's, like, I'm angry for you. It's just like, why are you angry for? I'm not even angry. But you should be. Wait, why should I be angry? Like, because I said so. No, wait, what? No, shut up. Like,
well, there are certain things that we just should be globally against. You know, and you're right to be angry about those things. There are plenty of injustices to be collectively angry about and angry on the behalf of people, and to join in with the anger against those heinous crimes and things like that. But for smaller matters, so like, let's say, I don't know, X person got sued by Y person for something, and the case was settled in favor of X person. Stop being angry in the favor of Y person for them. Stop. That. It's nothing to do with you.
I mean, there's a key. I don't know. It depends how deep we want to go here. Do you want me to just hold back a little bit, or like?
We got 20 minutes. Let's crack on.
20 minutes? Oh no! I'll hold back then. This is the same way.
This is just for reference, James. This is like 90% of a 10-hour stream. Is what he'll spend it on.
Yeah, no, I'll hold back. Let's just say, me, for example, I'm one of these people that I will never judge a person based on their gender, their religion, their politics, their views on life. I will judge a person on whether they're an arsehole or a good person. Like, I don't give a shit about anything else. I don't give a shit about your other
arsehole's
views.
not necessarily a bad person.
Arseholes are great. I love it. You get the poop.
You're going to poo, aren't you now?
I tried not to.
I know it's your personal distraction. I know. You know, you vocalize all your thoughts on your stream. I know that when you're trying to distract yourself, poo, quick, poo. Talk about poo.
Everyone loves poop.
Everyone can relate to poo. Everyone's had a poo.
The thing is, without arseholes,
it's like the lowest common denominator. Poo.
Well, so we did spend 5 minutes before starting the podcast talking about poo.
I think it was longer than 5 minutes.
It might have been longer than that, in all honesty.
But yeah, if there's anything I can try and get to come from this podcast is never judge someone based on their views or beliefs or whatever. If they're an arsehole, they're an arsehole. Like, that doesn't affect anything. If they're a good person, they're a good person.
Well, it's better to judge someone based on how they relay those views, I find.
Yes.
It's like, you know, if someone is coming at you from the angle of my way is the only correct way and here's why you're wrong, then that's probably not someone worth your time.
It's not worth your time, energy, effort, or like, it's just like, all right. They're closed minds, so to speak.
But it's funny because I dismiss people based on that, and that's a closed-minded thing to do. Because I'm also one of the people who doesn't think that someone is all bad. You know, so like you can list someone's bad qualities all day long, and I will still remain convinced that there is a redeeming quality about that person.
Yep.
110%.
You've not met yourself?
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's me. Like,
when it comes to James.
Yeah, I mean, I get that all the time.
I'm suffering from overexposure. The Stockholm syndrome hasn't kicked in yet. I don't feel like I need him around.
You're in that awkward phase of when you used to like me, you now hate me, but you haven't got the Stockholm yet. Yeah.
There's, I mean, especially being in the I don't want to say the public eye, so to speak. I mean, I get that people may despise me. And I get some of the reasons why they despise me.
Oh, just on that, sorry, before you carry on, something James might not know is that that you're actually vilified by the official Final Fantasy VII speedrun community.
No point thing. I it's not even just I. There's a reason, and I understand why people they don't necessarily like myself, and I understand it. I deal with myself every day. I don't necessarily like myself. But
you think you don't like me? You've not been me.
You try dealing with me every day for the last 33 years.
And having no choice in the matter as well.
Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't want to blow my own trumpet. I am an arsehole. I can be a smart ass, but the heart's in the right place, I would like to say.
Isn't that just part of being British, though? Just being a smart ass.
British people are worse than me. I'm from the internet. I'm not from the UK. I'm from the internet.
Nationality redacted from the internet.
Yeah, that's it. 192.77.422. Tis AOLchat.com.
Oh my god.
AOL chat.
Oh, we're all showing our age here.
My first love ever was Sarah7432, and I'm convinced that it was actually Keith, who was 67, who was grooming me. I don't want to, but yeah, I was 13. AOL chat room. Sarah was my love.
Well, if you're listening, Sarah, you missed out on a good one.
Sarah was Keith.
Yeah, no, Sarah was Keith, and yeah.
Who looks at a baby and goes, "Oh, that's a Keith." That. You know, it's like I get that, like, you know, baby names come and go and things become in fashion and trendy and things like that. But who looks at a baby and thinks Keith? Oh, baby Keith. That's just
Roger.
so. Roger, yeah, another one, Roger.
It's just an old people's name, isn't it?
Horace.
Right, try this. Roger Moore. Just like,
right,
come
okay,
on,
no.
it's just like second name Moore. Like, we're going to call him Roger. It's like,
you know what? Actually, on the subject of funny names, there was I think I told James this. Actually, we had a contact at work for one of the companies that we deal with, and his name was Paul Niss. That's Niss, Niss, and he signed all his emails P.Niss, and I'm sure he did it because it was funny.
wait.
I'm trying to. That before.
Wait, I'm trying. P.Niss.
P.Niss.
Penis. Oh, come on.
But that was genuine. That he would actually send us emails on a weekly basis, and it never stopped being funny. That was the part that got me. Probably because I was reading them at 4:00 in the morning. Really, then everything's funny at that point.
So my community recently, they've been like supporting and like donating under certain names, and I don't necessarily get them sometimes. So we watched a video like on YouTube. It's from the Smash Brothers community, and somebody donated Jenna Tools. Jenna.
very nice. Yeah.
TEWL. Genitals. And it's just. If you see the video, I'll link it in our chat that we're in at the moment. Just
My favorite one is someone said to me was Jen Nettle, which is.
I did go to a school with a guy called Andrew, whose surname was Peacock.
Andrew.
We had a woodcock at school, actually.
Hey, I would cock as well. Hey.
Yeah.
Did you get the Andrew Peacock?
No.
Andrew Peacock.
Drew Peacock.
Drew Peacock. Oh, you cock.
We used to genuinely call him Drew, and he used to fucking
I just got it. I'm so sorry.
because we called him Drew.
I mean, if you haven't got...
My name is Andrew. No, it's not, mate.
Yeah, that took me a second.
That took me far too long. My excuse is always that I've been up early, but the real reason is I'm just fucking stupid.
The other one that I've heard before, well, I've never met someone, but I've heard a common one, is Bend Over.
Yeah, no, that's... Dude, did you not watch porn in the 80s or 90s? Bend Over Productions? Bend Over...
Are you shouting out to your old job there? It wasn't sales at all, was it?
Dude.
It was sales, he was selling porn.
Dude. I have far too small... Anyway,
Me too. I'm going to let that hang for a minute. Or hang as best as it can.
It doesn't hang, that's the problem.
It's true. It's true.
Droopy. Oh God, James, we've reached new lows this week.
So yeah, I will just say that one of the other ones. So I don't want to keep going on the silly. We're adults here, guys. So
no, we're not.
If you spent any time listening to any of our previous podcasts, this is highbrow.
You think if someone's listened to 50 minutes of this conversation, they're going to want to hear the funny name?
My brother's stepson has just had a kid, and I was like, oh, what do you call him? And he was like, Isaac. And he was like, I tried to convince my other half to put his middle name as Hunt. Isaac Hunt. I was just like, come on.
You can't do that to someone.
Well, if I ever have a daughter, I'm going to call her Jennifer Tools. TEWLS. Middle name. Come on.
Yeah, that size sums it up, I think, really.
I warned you guys.
No, it's okay.
I do have a cousin whose initials are Pig.
I mean...
that's nice.
It's Ian, not going to say his surname. The thing is the mother picked a name and all that. The dad was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever, I don't care. So the dad went off to do the paperwork. And while this was... he's older than me, so this is before mobile phones, obviously.
Obviously, because you told us the timeline.
He wandered off to go fill out the paperwork and all that lot. And in that time, the mother realised that the initials were going to be Pig and said no. Well, obviously shouting no, but he didn't hear. He went to the paperwork, came back and goes, "Oh, baby's a pig." And he's just like, "He's just born. How can you call him a pig?" And yeah, obviously it was the name, but to this day, he still has that name.
I mean, why change it? You know, it's not the most offensive thing you could be, is it?
No, he is known as Pig though.
Yeah. There's worse things to be known as.
Alright, yeah, no, I'll stop. Alright, sorry. I'm scrolling through some of the names that they've donated under, like,
You're not going to share any?
Well, I mean, if you want me to, so this...
Just do two.
Alright, so... if I'm only doing two,
I've put him under pressure to pick the best two now, and now he's trying to... He's made a short list, there's about 60 in there. Now he's omitted 10 because they're all repeats of the same name.
So, oh no, that's too childish.
That's too childish. Too childish, he says, James. He thinks something's too childish for us.
You can tell when someone doesn't listen to our podcast.
Yes, you can absolutely tell.
So this is a guy from Poland. His name is Jack Mihoff.
That shouldn't be funny.
It should.
That one, I can't even remember what that one was. Anyway, yeah, let's moving on swiftly.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. We've just spent the last Jenna Tay Leah, so Tayylya.
Jenna Tay Leah. Very good.
Very
good.
So yeah. So, is this how we expected the podcast to go?
We
pretty
we
much.
come
Just
into
speed
it
running for a
with
bit and then
zero
just go into a rabble.
expectations.
Story of my life.
It's easier. It's easier to.
Well,
not expect
I
anything.
mean, I actually. So what have we got? 15 minutes left? 10 minutes?
I don't know. James
Yeah,
keeps
5,
track of the
10 minutes,
time.
yeah.
He tells me when to wrap up.
All
There's
right.
a big counter at the bottom. We started after about 2 minutes of recording, so we're 52 minutes into the hour.
All right.
Oh, are we
yeah.
at the point we're just trying to fill time now? Because that's pretty.
No.
depressing.
I
This is always
honestly,
the last 10 minutes.
no. I'm just getting started. Like, I'm more worried about if we can go like how when you've got to get cut off.
We
I'm
do
not
a special three-parter now. Is that we're gonna?
I can continue for 10 minutes, 50 minutes, 3 hours. I trust. I'm a streamer, like, but yeah, like if you guys need to cut off on the hour, fine, that's cool. But if you want to
We don't have to
continue
go exactly
after,
at the hour, so just aim around an hour is what we aim for.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
an hour of waffling. I mean, this is probably been one of the best projects that I've undertaken, thanks to James who suggested it, of course. Because what some people might not realise is that whilst I'm the star power and the talent, clearly, this is all James's idea.
Well, no, it's not completely. I saw basically what looked like a Tumblr post on Facebook.
Wait, you
and
have
it said-
Facebook?
Yes, I'm old. And it said that women go to therapy and men start a podcast. And I thought, we should start a podcast.
And the first emotionally damaged person he thought of was me. So he shot me a message and said, "Do you want to start a podcast? It's cheaper than therapy." And I said, "Yeah, why not?"
It is far more mentally damaging than but no.
We're
on a serious
well-adjusted
note-
adults. I don't know what you're talking about.
On a serious note, for anyone listening, mental health is a serious thing. If you ever need
is.
somebody, reach out. It's you're not alone, is what I would say.
Do as we've done before, and I'll put the Samaritans number up now.
But yeah, serious note. The world is a tough place. There's a lot of arseholes in the world that make the world tougher. Don't be one of those people. Just
You're not in the wrong because you feel like you're struggling.
yeah.
You know, you're not. It's fine. It's okay to struggle, but don't do it alone. People are there. People will listen, and people will help where they can. Just talk to someone. It's all it takes is just to talk to someone.
Yeah.
And if you
as
don't have
much
someone to
as-
talk to, like James said, the Samaritans number will be there. They do excellent work.
Yeah, as much as I meme and joke and laugh, and we like to have, I do take that sort of shit seriously, and I do always make sure people know, like, the world is a tough place. People are arseholes generally. You don't need to be an arsehole to make people's. If you haven't got, as my mother always taught me, if you haven't got something nice to say, just don't say anything. You don't have to be a fucking arsehole. But if you are struggling, if you ever need help, reach out to friends, reach out to family, reach out to support lines like these guys said.
It's a big thing I've seen a lot of recently, is particularly in the area of a content creator. The mental health implications there, and I know there's a lot of research gone into it, and it's been started and led by content creators rather than people who actually work in mental health and stuff like that. And it's
I mean, I think one of the big one over recent years was Etika. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yeah, I know of him.
Yeah, it's that people kept pushing and pushing, like community and viewers, and like they kept pushing him, and then as soon as he took his life, they're like, "Oh, that's." It's like, well, you were part of. I just.
For those that aren't aware, Etika was he was a variety streamer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Basically,
huge YouTuber.
he played anything.
Yeah, he's huge
YouTuber,
YouTuber.
Yeah. From Minecraft to basically any game that was play for the month sort of thing. And everyone was like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to release more videos, you need to release more videos, all that lot. And yeah, unfortunately, it got too much for him and he took his life, which...
Yeah, he
nobody
had
wants to
mental
hear.
health issues, and he was said like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna," and his community was like, "Yeah, just do it, just fucking take it." Like, and then he did it, and then those same people that were joking and like poking about it are the ones going, "Oh, that's really bad." It's like you, as I say, people are assholes. Don't make the world a worse place than it actually is. So a good post I just saw. So Robin Williams.
Mhm.
Robin. So one of the quotes he said before he took his life is, "People don't fake depression; they fake being okay."
Yeah, that's just something.
Remember that. Be kind. Like it's.
There's a YouTuber I've been watching a lot of recently, who's really open about his struggle with depression. He's a Warhammer 40,000 content creator, and he's not fully documented his struggle with depression, but every now and again he replaces his regularly scheduled content with just to talk about it, just to talk about how he's doing and his road to recovery and how important it is to talk about it, because that is the key. It's really important to talk about it. He's Winter's SEO for anybody who's interested. You can, if you type his name
SCL?
Winter's SEO. Winters, so like the plural of winter, and then SEO.
Gotcha.
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, it'll come up on the screen. But if you search him, just have a scroll through his videos. He'll have they're usually titled "The Struggle with Depression" and things like that. And like it's so important to listen to what people are saying, like, and actually listen. Don't sit there thinking like, oh well, it could have changed this, it could have done that, it could have done the other. Yeah. Listen to what people are saying, because it's not as simple as you might think. And this is for the people who are. Because, I mean, I hear it from, and it's usually older people, but I'm not trying to single an audience out, but I hear people say things like, well, mental health problems didn't exist in my day. That's not true. That is not true at all. People just didn't talk about it. Because they were
for example, my brother, I've spoken to him, like, I struggle. Like, I have done for a long time. I'm one of these people, I bullshit up though. Like I tend, I mean, especially being an entertainer and like I rely on like income from, I can't come on and be like, depressing and like, so I have to put on a persona. But if I speak to my brother about it, it's like, nah, depression, nah, it's just feel good. Don't feel depressed, just feel good.
It's such a toxic attitude to have as well. And because I have been depressed, but I don't suffer from depression, if that makes sense. I've had depressive slumps. I've been at a point where I was suicidal before, but I don't suffer from depression. Does that make sense? Am I getting that right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. No.
Yeah, and there's a huge difference in between those things. Having chronic depression doesn't need a reason. You can't just walk into it and say, "Oh well." It's like that sort of look at all the things you've got to be happy about. It's like that's not helpful to anybody.
And again, the Robin Williams scenario. It's just like, he was super rich. He was known for being happy. But again, people fake being happy. Like, money doesn't make you happy. Like, you can pretend to be happy, but you can still be putting on a mask. It's like, But you're not alone. Is what we're trying to say here, dudes. Like, reach out to people. And again, for me as a streamer, I do make sure my community know that. And I spend hours upon hours per month, like in my DMs and on calls with people, just like chatting with them, trying to help them. But again, I'm probably the worst person for that, because I struggle as well. Like,
that doesn't make you the worst person for it though, because it's that feeling of validation, knowing that you're not alone, and someone that people come to for entertainment is also feeling those things. So in a lot of cases, it might give them hope to see that you can switch, press the go live button. And so there's going to be a lot of days where you don't feel like pressing go live, isn't there? It's
most days.
Because what people don't what people don't realize though is that's exactly the same feeling as waking up and not feeling like going to work, because that's what you're doing every day. And it's like, I want to face the monotony of my job, because you streaming is your job, and it has to take that place in your life. There's another thing that annoys me is when people say like, oh, streamers and YouTubers have got it easy, they just play games for a living. It is not that simple.
It's just like, oh, what are you complaining about? You play computer games for a living. It's like, in the last 3 days I've made $7.27.
And I have to act happy about it.
I'm just like, I've still got to pretend to be happy. But again, I'm not complaining about. Don't get me wrong. I've been a very, very, very lucky in regards to my community and the supports I've received financially.
I don't think you can base it on luck, though. I think you do yourself a disservice there, because if it was lucky, it would have been very, very temporary. But the names, like, because I stepped out of the community for like 2-3 years, and when I came back, the same names were cropping up. It was like I'd never left. And
again, like in my community, I see it on Twitch as well. Streamers, a lot of streamers, vast majority of streamers, they're the streamer, you're the viewer, you're my community, I'm the head honcho. To me, it's just like, you're my friends. I like my friends. It's just,
we're all here to enjoy ourselves.
I again, there's. I'm a peculiar one though. I am quite a peculiar one.
In some ways though, it's like when you said that people are like, I'm the streamer, I'm in charge. It's sort of a backwards thing, because it's like, sorry mate, but you've pressed go live and you're relying on these people as your lifeblood.
For full-time streamers, for sure. I mean, I still even see that with full-time streamers, but you get past the point as well where you can't be friends with everyone because you either become so big or you become so, like, I don't know. It's
Well, it becomes exhausting for yourself then.
yeah.
You can't help everybody. That's impossible.
That's one of my problems as well. I do try to help everyone, but then I can't even help myself most of the time, Pete.
That's one of the pieces of advice I would give to somebody who's, because it's obvious if you speak to someone for an hour or so, it's obvious if they're the kind of person who forgets about themselves and just busies themselves with trying to support other people, and they just and it would just benefit them so much to just take a day for themselves, just to sit on the sofa, eat a full, I don't know, crate of Pringles and just watch some films.
Be healthy.
But you know what I mean. Self-care is really so important. Taking that time for yourself. It's not selfish to turn down plans to look after yourself.
I mean, can I not refer that to you as well? I know that you're a busy man and you have family and
yeah, but I don't suffer from chronic depression at the same time, and I do make plenty of time for myself. I spend a couple of hours a day, every day, doing something for me, whether that's like I like editing videos as a hobby. I like the streams. For me, it's not my job, so I like doing that as something that I enjoy. I paint miniatures, which is very, very good for
yeah, that's something I see regularly in our art and creativity channel, you and Spud, etc. with the see, I mean, again, having this conversation with you guys, it's something I need to do personally as well.
It's really important that you have hobbies that are not playing games. It's important that you take time away from the screen to spend time in the real world and to interact with like your family and friends in an environment that's not your online persona. Because I assume, and I'm assuming it is very ignorant of me to do so, that one of the core issues with content creators' mental health is becoming their persona, and sort of that creating a disconnection between who they are and who they're projecting to be.
That's 110%. I don't want to say fortunately. So for myself, people used to ask my one of my exes, what's Swiggy like or what's Jonathan like off stream. She's like, exactly the same. He doesn't have a persona. He's just him. But back when I first started streaming, I watched back those streams and I'm just like, that just sounds so exhausting. It's just like you're just putting out a persona, a personality, and I see it from other streams as well. And because I'm a streamer and I've been through that, I can see when a streamer is just that it's not them, and I have no interest in that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's good for your audience, etc. But for me, it just there's no emotional connection. There's no personality connection. It's just somebody pretend. And as soon as they turn off the camera or turn off the stream, they go back to being themselves. It's like you're speaking with a fake personality, which...
Yeah. And that opens up a whole new conversation about parasocial relationships as well, but we could go on for days with this sort of things,
that's why I asked how long we're going for, so if we want to continue or we want to end, like, I'm easy. Like, we're good.
It's probably a good time to end now.
Cool.
Obviously, there's no reason by all means you could come on another time and we can have more conversations.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's just... Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm easy. I also have potentially other people we could sit and chat with as well. Potentially in future. Yeah, no, we can talk about that offline. But yeah. No.
Well, we're happy to have people. We've had a string of guests on now, and you're the first person to come on that does this as a job. So you're the first person that we would be in air quotes networking with in that essence.
Honestly, it was just our friends.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, networking, like, you are my network, Pete. So, like,
I've just advertised myself to myself then.
Yeah, literally, it's just like Pete, come and watch and hang out with Pete. It's just like,
but Pete doesn't listen to the podcast.
I listened to 2 in a row a couple of weeks ago. I have no idea why I did that.
You bored or?
I don't know, but I found it to be very beneficial to just hear my thoughts played back, and mostly just because to hear that what I do say, especially like because some weeks I don't really think about it because we start late and I work early, and I'm not even really there. But it's nice to know that my tired brain shoves towards my mouth the exact same things I would say when I'm not tired. It's nice. It's nice to have that affirmation that I'm at least well adjusted in myself. It might not be to the world, but I am adjusted to myself.
Yeah, I can't listen to my streams or VODs. I'm just like, oh my god, what is up with this idiot? Stop.
I'd hate to point it out to you, but the reason you can't listen to your streams or VODs is because they get muted for copyright strikes.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? On that note, I'm going to say good day, sir.
And with that, this has been Words From Our Mouths. James, do you want to plug the socials? Because I don't know them.
Cheers, guys.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Find us on Twitter at our mouths. We have a TikTok, which I've already forgotten the name of. I've only put one video on, but I'll put some more on later. Obviously, you've got us on YouTube. Go on, like, comment on YouTube. Go on to Spotify, rate it, download it. I think I don't know that it's Spotify. Like and rate it on Apple. Go to twitch.tv/eSwoogie.
That's the one.
I assume that's what it is.
If you enjoyed what you listened to, then go to twitch.tv/eSwoogie, because it's the same kind of, you get the same kind of content from him. He sits and plays games and he goes off on tangents. The only problem here is he's had two morons interrupting him.
I wouldn't say morons. I would say it's been, how do you say, adding to the fire. We could go on for hours here.
Stoking.
That's it. We're all just sat here poking the fire. It's like, oh my god, it's going up in flames. Oh.
Someone's going to fucking go in a minute.
One of us is going to get banned. Let's just call it. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's
thank you,
been
guys.
an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you for agreeing to do this. You know, you had no obligation to do that. And
Pete, you're a friend at any time. Reach out.
But that doesn't mean that you owe me anything. So, you know, I'm grateful all the same.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the conversations. And, look forward to hearing it. Look forward to future interactions. And thank you again for having me.
Well, I think that's it, James. Anything to add?
Nope.
Well, James and I will see you next week. And thanks again for listening. Ta-ra.
Ta-da.